Oh yeah, guys. That right there. Now, if you didn't watch the game and you're just going to slide in there and look at that score, garbage time. Freaking garbage time. Classic Browns moments, but garbage time. But wow, dancing, I feel like dancing after watching the Browns game. What the heck? Crazy. I mean, there was some part of me that was like, oh, but the Dallas game, we were really ahead in the Dallas game. Nah, we were just like, let me just start out by saying, this is similar to when the Buckeyes, I think it was 2, maybe 3 years ago, were just gonna lose to Michigan. I mean, it was just gonna happen. We all knew it was gonna happen. I was going around like, oh yeah, it's gonna happen, guys. You know, it's gonna be one we're just gonna lose to Michigan. And then we went in there and just killed them. And it was like, what just happened here? Like, I'm confused. But yeah, here we are. All week been telling people, you know, here we're gonna have a couple of losses. Might squeak one out against Baltimore. I mean, they're having some pretty strange issues right now, obviously with the COVID problem. But then they're gonna come back and they're gonna be all out of sorts. And I don't know. I mean, I think we have some percentage of a chance in that game. Speaking of percentage of a chance, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw up a picture here real quick that I took at halftime. It's because the Browns were a 99% chance to win, and I don't remember the last time I've ever seen that. I had to screenshot it. It just freaked me out. But anyway, yeah, what a crazy good game. I mean, we were just rolling in the beginning, and I clapped so much, it was incredible. But yeah, so I wrote a few things down here. I mean, let me just start out by saying there was no, I've said that several times, I get it, but I'm just so hype, all right? But there was no point in this game originally I thought that there was going to be a classic Browns moment, because that's just how good things were going. But we're the Browns, so we're going to have those moments. Now, originally what I wrote down for that, because you know we always start with the classic Browns moments. The 4th and 12 penalty by Stewart for holding. I mean, that was just stupid. Like, he was going to be the receiver they were going towards, but you had help over the top. I don't think that he necessarily was going to have a huge chance of catching that, but at least he redeemed himself. But then later, this is the real Browns moment. Bird leg, bird arm, literally like a small newborn baby could probably hold the ball better than Baker Mayfield would. And here he is, he just thinks he's gonna sneak it. And he goes and like lays at, okay, Baker, if you ever carry the ball, it better be the breadbasket carry that a lineman does. It better be like, you're clutching this thing like it's your contract, because that's really what it is. Because if you lose a game that we're up that much at the very end of the game, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to want to extend you. Still really, I mean, even if Baker has like the most electrifying finish of the year, I mean, unless you really just put some playoff wins in, just like really, that might get me some confidence in him. But all that crap Kevin Stefanski's saying about, well, look at the conditions and all this stuff, I say that in all my videos. Whatever, give him all the stuff that you want. Today, he was hitting the passes. He was. He actually hit some open receivers. Crazy. He's a quarterback. He should always do that. But then, you know, you had that moment where he just threw the straight laser right at Landry, and Landry couldn't catch it, you know, like bounced off his face. That's an issue. I mean, he gets so excited he throws it hard. But anyway, so let's just go with some of the things that I've written down here. So Baker Mayfield, I'll give him credit. I tell you guys all the time, this dude cannot run. He cannot run. Well, we got to agree, that was a pretty good catch. I mean, when Landry had that trick play where he rolled it out to the side, he threw it, and there was a defender in his face, he didn't really know what he was doing. He just sort of threw it in a general direction, put it high enough. Baker had to, you know, channel his inner self, had to somehow do this like over-the-shoulder catch. I can't remember the guy who does that, who did that in MLB. He's really famous for it, but yeah, he had to do the over the shoulder catch, and you know, tapped his feet a few times before he went out. I mean, that was kind of handy for a guy who doesn't really do anything other than throw the ball. I was impressed by that. I mean, I don't know, you know. I mean, I'm going to give Baker a pass today because he did some things. The Richardson strip, very clutch, very clutch. I mean, Henry, he can just kill your team by himself. If he can start getting some holes, it's done. But after we stripped the ball from him, I felt like his confidence was shaken. I mean, he just really wasn't running hard. He really wasn't getting the holes. He wasn't finding anything. And I mean, granted, the defense stayed home really well. Secondary is trash as always. But They stayed home. And to be honest about the secondary, we have these safeties healthy now, but I don't think anyone really knows who's in coverage half the time. I mean, Sendejo, I have it written down here. Basically, there was a touchdown pass, and he could have either tried to jump the route, which he was on the south side of the route, so he really could have done that. But he didn't. It was like he had a brain fart, and he was like, no, don't do that. But because now he's under the route, once the receiver catches it, there's nobody over top. He just walks right in. I mean, the guy was there, Sendejo. What are you doing? Just tackle the guy. That's all you really can do anyway is tackle. So, just please, let's do what you're best at. Kareem Hunt at the end of the game showed he could tackle. Sendejo, where were you at? Carl Joseph, on the other hand, that guy's a beast at tackling, all right? I mean, he's not necessarily a coverage guy either, really, but he was just hitting people hard today. He had some mistakes. He had a penalty, I believe, that cost us a little bit. But for the most part, I mean, he was there. He was hitting people. He was doing everything he needed to do. Let's see here. Baker, another hard count jump. Something that apparently he prides himself over is what they said, and the announcer said anyway. But incredible, though. I mean, he just keeps causing people to jump off. I keep waiting for us to play somebody who does that to us. They're watching this tape. They're telling him don't jump off. But, only one, so I guess that was pretty good. Kendall Lamb, though. Let's give him a round of applause. Kendall Lamb, everybody. Kendall Lamb. 310-pound giant. Sneaks into the end zone, catches a pass. Crazy. I mean, I love when things like that happen. I love when big guys get, good plays, especially when they break off big runs, which this was really just to catch the guy. But, he kept that ball. He took it home. He's going to talk about it tonight with his buddies. He's going to talk about it all week with his buddies, maybe even the rest of the year with his buddies. I would say this is going to be on his Christmas card, but we're closer to Christmas. But maybe next year's Christmas card, this will be on that. Because this is the big moment. This may be the only time he ever has that moment. But man, incredible for him. I felt great about that. Baker, he did mock me a little bit with his running. He broke off a run to the outside and he got the first down. And I sit here and talk about the bird legs and how much he can't run, but every time he gets us a first down, it's some argument against what I'm saying. But seriously, tell him to stop. Fumbles all over the place before the half, though. I mean, I couldn't tell who had momentum going into the half, but we were winning so handily. I was giddy. I almost actually recorded a video of me just dancing at the half, and I don't know. It was weird. It's weird. I've never had this much joy during a Browns game. I don't think in my entire life. Granted, the end was marked by a little bit of stress, and I wanted to actually record this video with 2-3 minutes left, but for some strange reason, we were just the Browns doing Browns things, so you couldn't really get excited about that. But how about that they would fumble the ball to themselves, referring to the Titans, when they're trying to score there at the end. I mean, we cause a strip. Again, it's one of the times where we're really trying to capitalize on our high-risk defense. And we get the payoff, but not really, though, because we somehow can't secure the ball after we strip it. Right place, right time for that guy, ran it right in. I think that actually Pruitt, I think it was his second touchdown. I don't know, very lucky for him. But last thing here, as I'd said before, Stewart, redemption interception from the penalty. So he had that penalty where he had a classic Browns moment. He really screwed us up and made it so that we couldn't just stay where we were. But then when he, pulled off that interception, I mean, I don't know, it was a very good play by him. It really showed that our defense can show up. And we had Myles Garrett. I wanted to clip some of these parts of the game. I'm still not really sure the legitimacy of that, but as I'm slowly learning video editing, I'm kind of like, well, maybe I could just throw a picture in there. But yeah, Baltimore will be a test next week. I think that we're going to end up having a little more struggle with them because, of course, they beat us pretty handily most times we play them. But I don't know, with them being rusty, with them not having everybody together, with them being at the record, they're going to be fighting for their life. So if we just kind of keep doing what we're doing, if we're able to kind of throw a cog in the machine like we did with Tennessee, I mean, it'd be crazy. We beat them. We'd actually be in we clinch a playoffs, and that's that early. We have a few other games that we're supposed to win. I mean, and the analysts just love talking about how we only win the games that we're supposed to win. Actually, this might be the first week since week three that I'm excited to see some reactions this week from everybody out there. Of course, Colin Cowherd and Stephen A. are just going to sit there and talk about how much they hate the Browns and stuff, because that's how they make their money, just constantly shitting on the Browns and Ohio State. But, hey, Buckeyes are out there doing their thing. Oh, yeah, one last thing to touch on, because I'm sure a lot of you people watching this are actually Ohio fans, or really just maybe even regional to Ohio. But anyway, so Ohio State is going to play Michigan next week. But if the game for some reason gets canceled, because, again, Michigan had to cancel their game this week due to some COVID issues, then we, by rule, shouldn't be eligible for the Big Ten championship, which means that we probably won't be in the national championship games either. Kind of crazy that Michigan, who we've just been shaming for all these years, is in control of our destiny in some way. I mean, I want to think there's some honor among them, but I mean, it's Michigan. I don't know, I mean, this could be the last year for Jim Harbaugh. This could be a send-off for him. He might just be dosing everybody up with COVID to make sure that somehow, some way, that this game doesn't work out. Something to watch for there, guys. But man, the early part of this Browns game, incredible, guys.